Yo, welcome in everybody to the Buds and Sports channel. Week 3 is almost wrapped up. We have tonight's Monday games, but we're going to talk about Sunday's games because that's where a majority of our games happen. And so, as always, Dougie comes with the Dookie List after a good week of football. Um, we didn't have week 2 upload. I had some difficulties uploading it, and then it got kind of too late, I felt, to upload. So we skipped week 2. Sorry about that. But we're back for week 3, and we're going to talk a little shit because some of these teams need to be talked shit on. So let's hop right into it, and you know who's coming in at number 1. My team. Hate it. Don't want to put them there, but they deserve to be there after this week because the Arizona Cardinals are probably one of the lower teams in the league right now. I know they've been playing decently, better than a lot of people expected, but Cowboys, you should not have lost that game. Um, there's so many things I can get into, so many things I can talk about. Especially being my team, I know a lot of things that need to be fixed, but we're going to keep it simple for the list so that it doesn't get too long. Long story short, Cowboys, you need to clean the fuck up. Especially this offense. Like, for the past year, maybe even 2 years, the reason the Cowboys have been doing good and winning games have solely been our defense. The offense, for some reason, just doesn't look crisp as it needs to look. I mean, you have CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, Brandon Cooks, Gallup. You have weapons, okay? The reason I didn't mention Dak is some of the reason. We got to put some of the blame on Dak's shoulder why this offense ain't clicking the way it needs to click. A lot of that, too, goes to our offensive coordinator, McCarthy. He is now calling plays. I know he ain't the OC, but he's calling plays. So in my head, you the OC because you're out there calling what plays we need. And you need to call some better fucking plays because right now, the Cowboys offense isn't crisp as it needs to be. Because our first game against the Giants, let's be real, I think our offense only scored once, maybe twice that first game. Second game against the Jets, defense kept us in the whole game. I mean, I know the score was 30-7 or something like that, but our offense didn't look strong. I mean, we pulled away. It was a game all the way up until the fourth against the Jets, the Zach Wilson Jets. So let's put it like that. And you struggled to the fourth quarter where you finally pulled away. But it's this offense. This offense has to start getting going way earlier than it needs to, or else we're going to keep losing against teams like the Cardinals that we shouldn't lose to. The Cardinals. But Cowboys, you're picked as one of the top tier teams, and you lost to a low tier Cardinals team. And for that, you're on the Dookie list this week. Like I said, I'm keeping it simple. I can't get too further into it. Number 2 on the Dookie list this week, it got to be the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos got absolutely and that doesn't even describe it. The Broncos got the brake speed off of them. You let the Dolphins, and I know the Dolphins are a high-power offense, and we might have to start taking the Dolphins way more seriously than we do. This team might actually be the team this year. But they dropped 70 on your asses. That's a college score. 70 bones in the NFL is pretty embarrassing. And Broncos, you look pretty embarrassing right now. I don't know what's going on in there. I know Sean Payton has to be ripping you guys a new one this week. But a lot of things got to be fixed in Broncos country because it's not looking like let's ride. It's looking like the tires have been blown out. The transmission needs to be changed. There's a lot of things going on in Broncos countries that need to be fixed. But you're on the Dookie list this week because you let 70 get dropped on your head. You let Mostert, what's the other running back's name? I can't think of it right now. Tyreek Hill. You let these 3 guys all be the slate breakers. There's 3 slate breakers on one team. They dropped 70 points. Both running backs have 4 TDs. It's crazy. Broncos, what is going on? The defense is looking like they can't stop shit. The offense is looking like they can't do shit. And the Broncos, the offense has been looking better than last year, but still nothing to brag about. But you're definitely on the list this week because that was Dookie out there. You had 70 drop on your head. you more than deserve to be on this Dookie list this week. All right, coming in at number 3 on the Dookie list this week is the Jets. Now, the reason I'm putting the Jets on the list this week is because Aaron Rodgers went down. And before you even got Aaron Rodgers, you seen what you had in Zach Wilson. You knew what you had in Zach Wilson, right? So Aaron Rodgers go down, and instead of going out and trying to find a quarterback, try to find something, you said we're riding with Zach Wilson because that's our guy. No, he's not the guy. Your offense can't do shit with this guy. You weren't able to do shit with this guy last year, and you thought it was going to change this year? No, you still ain't doing shit. Zach Wilson is not the guy. He is not a starting QB. I might even go as far as to say he ain't even a solid backup QB. Jets offense produced probably the least amount of offense this weekend. They looked trash, and it sucks. Especially for a lot of fantasy owners out of Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, all these. The offense is just, I don't know. It's not going to look good this year if you're going to ride it out with Zach Wilson. Jets, you need to change something. You need to try to go get a veteran quarterback who's sitting at home or something, because Zach Wilson is not the guy. And if you stick with them, I guarantee you're going to be on this Dookie list a couple more times this year. So Jets, get your shit together and get something that's going to help you on this offense. All right, coming in at number 4 this week on the Dookie list, we are going with the Bears. Yes, the Bears are on it for, well, like I said, I didn't get to upload last week, so that don't count. So we're going to say two Dookie lists in a row, the Bears are on this. Now, the reason the Bears are on it this week is because I'm just done with this team. I'm solely disappointed with this team. This was a team before the season started I thought had potential. I wasn't picking them to go to Super Bowl. I wasn't picking them to go to the NFC Championship. I was maybe, but I did see them maybe being able to slip in as a wild card, or at least look competitive enough to fight all year. And right now the Bears are not looking competitive. The Bears are actually winning something right now, and the only thing they're winning is the worst team in the NFL, because we all thought it was going to be the Cardinals this year. I had Cardinals a hard lock for the worst team in the NFL. No. Bears, you are looking right now as the worst team in the NFL, in my opinion. That O-line, garbage. Justin Fields running for his life, cannot get rid of the ball. And Justin, as much as I like to give you a pass because of the line, you got to get rid of that ball, dude. You're running it left and right. You got to get rid of the ball. And maybe your receiver's not getting open. Maybe that's it. Because I don't know what it is, because the Bears are looking like the worst team right now. They're looking bad. Defense is subpar. Offense, trash. You picked up some receivers, and I know they're not the best receivers, but I mean, they're still capable enough receivers. Claypool, Moore, Mooney. Those are 3 guys that, hey, they may not be big household names, but they could get it done with the right team. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm disappointed in the Bears because I was a believer that they were going to be at least competitive this year. And it's looking like they're going to be number 1 pick by the end of it if things keep going the way they're going. So Bears, you're on the list again, and I doubt this is the last time you'll be on the list this year. So coming in next at number 5, and to finish off this list this week, we have the Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens they're 2-1. They lost yesterday against the Colts. Don't like the loss. But the reason you're mainly on this is because you are just dookie the way you are doing Lamar. And it's really starting to fucking bug me, because I think Lamar Jackson is a top tier. He was an MVP one year. Lamar gets no respect, and the Ravens are doing him dirty. Lamar's career the whole career, Lamar has had no number 1 receiver. And drop balls have been a big theme with the Ravens, especially in playoff times, crucial moments, people are dropping passes. And it's like, how are you not addressing that? And I don't want to hear, oh, Lamar had a Hollywood Brown. Brown is not a number 1 receiver. I'm sorry. I like Marquise Brown, but he's not a number 1 receiver. The reason the Ravens got rid of him was because he was dropping passes. And then I don't want to hear, oh, well, they got Odell this year. No, Odell is coming off an injury. And even if he was half of what he was before the injury, that's not prime time Odell. I'm not saying Odell's not a number 1 receiver, but coming off an injury, question marks, no. That's not the guy you go get in the offseason. And then on top of that, You lose your number one running back game one, and you say, you know what, we're going to ride with Gus and Justice Hill. We're going to ride with those guys. Those are our guys. Why? Why? You've been riding with Gus for a minute now. You know what Gus does. You've been riding. Justice Hill's all right, but you put him at 300 depth chart for a reason. I don't know, Ravens. Why don't you go out there and get a guy? Before Browns got Kareem Hunt was out there. And I know maybe because of the whole Ray Rice situation in your past, you don't want to take that on. But I don't know. If you don't want Kareem Hunt, there's other guys out there. Matter of fact, give up some picks. Give up something and go get JT. Lamar Jackson and Jonathan Taylor in the backfield would be gross. And you would look way better than what you look now. Having JT back there will open up your receivers, your 2 and 3 receivers that you have in the 1 and 2 slots. Ravens, get Lamar Jackson some kind of help. I don't want to hear Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is a tight end. Yes, he's a solid, great tight end, top 3 tight end in the league. But he's not a receiver. Go get you a number 1 receiver, Ravens. Go get you a solid running back. Get Lamar some help because you're wasting his talents there. And I don't know who in that fucking coaching room is telling him not to run, but no. Lamar Jackson's a great passer, but he's a great runner. Even better runner than probably passer. And that's where his game shines. He's not a pocket passer. He's a dual threat quarterback. Yes, I'm a firm believer Lamar Jackson can throw. He's accurate. But the problem is they only want him throwing. And I understand you don't want to get hurt, but at the same time, you're taking away what makes Lamar special. I don't know, Ravens. You need to figure it out. You need to get Lamar some help because you're wasting his talents there. And that's going to end it this week for Dougie's Dookie List. We have the Cowboys, Broncos, Jets, and Bears on it this week. No individual players, no individual things. All these teams as a whole need to get their shit together. Cowboys, fix whatever the fuck's going on offense. Broncos, fix the whole thing. Because y'all ain't riding right now. It's not let's ride. It's let's get this shit fucking fixed. Jets, get Zach Wilson the fuck out of there. I'd rather see Ryan Tannehill back there. And I think Tannehill needs to be flipping burgers. But he's better than Zach Wilson. I'll tell you that much. Bears, fix everything. Please, stop looking straight trash. And Ravens, get Lamar Jackson some help. I can't say that enough. Get that man some help. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. We will be back next week for Week 4's Dookie List. Make sure you guys tune in this week on the Buds and Sports channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the follow button so you know when we post. We have Spuddy Quick Picks coming up this week. We have another DraftKings episode coming up this week. So you guys make sure you are following the channel and keeping your notifications turned on so you know when we post. I'm Dougie. This is the Buds and Sports. And as always, you guys have a great day. Peace.